Now that we've seen what a contextual environment is, let's take a look at the next step, which is the procedure value. So procedure value is exactly what its name says. Procedures are values in memory. Variables are bound to procedure values. So to show this, let's start with a simple procedure here. Proc inc xy, y is equal to x plus a, end. This looks like a statement, but in fact, it's not. This is actually a syntactic sugar. What really happens is that the identifier inc is bound using the equal to this anonymous procedure. So an anonymous procedure is a procedure which has no name. In fact, we replace the identifier by a dollar symbol. It's just a placeholder to show that there is no identifier there. It's just a procedure without a name. And then we bind inc to this anonymous procedure. So these two statements here are exactly the same. The first one is just a syntactic sugar for the second one. So we have bound inc to this anonymous procedure. So how are they stored in memory? Well, here's our program. Here is our proc inc xy definition. Here is the kernel language. In fact, what I've just showed you is the kernel language version, where inc is equal to the proc definition here. Okay, and in memory here at the right, we have the variable little inc is bound to the procedure value. Now notice this thing here is the procedure value in memory. And notice comparing inc and a, the variable a is bound to 1. Well, the variable inc is bound to the procedure. Procedures are values, just like integers. They're a different kind of value, more complicated than integers, but they're just values. So a procedure value is stored in memory as a pair. In fact, there's two things in the procedure value, which, if you remember the last video, you know that there must be this second thing. So there is the procedure code, but then there is this second thing, which of course is the contextual environment. The procedure in memory must remember its contextual environment. So a procedure value here, inc, is bound to this procedure value, is a pair of two things. The code of the procedure, notice I write this code in the source form, but in the actual system, this will be some kind of a compiled, more efficient code. But in semantics, we don't need to know this. We can represent the procedure value as just the source form and together with its contextual environment. A procedure value, therefore, is this pair stored in memory bound to the variable which is referred to by the identifier, which is the name of the procedure. And there is other terminology for this that is often used. A procedure value is often called a closure or even a lexically scoped closure because the contextual environment is determined through static scoping or lexical scoping. So the procedure values containing the contextual environments are an incredibly powerful concept, and in the next video we'll show some examples of what you can do with it.